They are harvesting your attention while you sleepwalk through a life you secretly hate. You wake up every single morning and immediately reach for a glowing rectangle to numb your mind. You consume the highlights of other men's lives because you are entirely terrified of facing your own reality. The system has successfully turned you into a spectator in the arena of your own existence. Every hour you spend scrolling is an hour stolen from the empire you were supposed to build. They do not need physical chains to enslave the modern man. They simply flood his brain with cheap dopamine until he loses the will to conquer. Look in the mirror and ask yourself when you surrendered. When did you accept the lie that being average is an acceptable fate? You were born with the genetic code of survivors, conquerors, and kings. Yet you live like a defeated peasant. The greatest tragedy of this century is the mass extermination of masculine ambition. They want you docile, distracted, and dependent on their validation. A man who relies on the applause of the crowd can be controlled by the silence of the crowd. To break free from this invisible prison, you must commit to absolute, ruthless isolation. The boy inside of you wants to be saved, loved, and understood by a world that does not care about him. You must drag that boy into the dark and let him die so the man can be born. There is no glory in a life without suffering. Comfort is a silent assassin that strangles your potential while you sleep in a warm bed. If you want to become a force of nature, you must actively seek out the cold, the pain, and the heavy iron. When you step into the shadows and cut ties with the noise, your mind will violently rebel. It will beg for the distractions, the fake friends, and the meaningless drama. Do not negotiate with your own weakness. You are the warden of your own mind, and it is time to lock down the facility. Starve your distractions until they wither and die. Feed your focus until it becomes a dangerous, unstoppable obsession. True power is entirely silent. The men who actually move the world do not announce their plans or beg for permission. They operate in the dark, accumulating leverage and skill while the masses argue over trivial nonsense. Imagine a blade being forged in the heart of a raging fire. The steel does not scream when the blacksmith strikes it with the hammer. It simply absorbs the impact, condenses its molecules, and becomes infinitely sharper. You must become the steel. Let the rejections, the failures, and the betrayals strike you like a hammer. Instead of breaking, use the impact to harden your resolve and sharpen your edge. People will call you obsessed. They will say you have lost your mind, that you are taking life too seriously, and that you need to relax. The people telling you to relax are the same people who will be working for you in 10 years. Do not lower your standards to match the mediocrity of your surroundings. If the people around you are not talking about growth, wealth, and conquest, you are not in a circle. You are in a cage. Break the cage and walk into the wilderness alone. The wilderness is cold, and the nights are incredibly long. You will face the demons of your own doubt, the ghosts of your past mistakes, and the crushing weight of total responsibility. But you will face them on your own terms. An apex predator does not hunt in a pack of sheep. He moves alone, calculated, and with lethal intent. He understands that energy is finite, and he refuses to waste a single drop of it on things that do not make him deadlier. Your emotions are a liability on this battlefield. Anger, sadness, and fear are natural, but acting on them is a choice made by weak men. A king feels the fear and executes the plan anyway with cold, mechanical precision. Detach yourself from the outcome and fall in love with the brutal repetition of the process. True discipline is doing the things you hate to do as if you love them. It is the ability to command your own body to move when your mind is screaming to stop. The pain of regret is a poison that will slowly rot your soul when you are old and frail. You will look back and realize you traded your destiny for temporary comfort and the approval of strangers. Do not let that be the final chapter of your story. You have a narrow window of time in this life to prove that you are not just a background character. The universe does not reward potential. It only rewards execution. The ideas in your head are entirely worthless until you force them into reality through sheer, unrelenting effort. Stop waiting for a spark of motivation. Motivation is a fairy tale told to children to make them feel better about being lazy. Discipline is the heavy, brutal armor you must wear every single day. Whether the sun is shining or the storm is raging, when you finally construct this version of yourself, the world will treat you differently. They will feel the gravity of your presence before you even speak a word. Your aura will radiate the silent violence of a man who has conquered his own mind. But to get there, you must walk through the fire alone. You must abandon the need to be liked and embrace the reality of being feared. You must become the monster that protects the kingdom. The matrix is collapsing around you, and the weak are scrambling for cover. Stand tall in the chaos. Let the storm crash against you and realize that it cannot move you an inch. Your training arc starts right now. Every second you waste after this moment is a betrayal of the man you are destined to become. Subscribe to 421st Studio if you are ready to abandon the herd and forge your legacy in the dark. Leave a comment saying I am the storm to seal your vow. Close this app and get back to the grind.